running to check the mailbox for your invitation to the Pope's bar mitzvah, sending your social security and bank account information to an ousted former Nigerian Ministry of Finance's only living relative to get a piece of her inheritance, chowing down on after the sell-by date room temperature sushi. It's a lot like that. What am I talking about? I wish I had a nickel for every time I've heard that line. Of course, then I might be able to afford to pay the $10 a month service fee Chase added to each of our credit card loans, $120 a year, which is about 4 times as much as cards that have fees and tell you about them before you sign up. Or I might be able to afford Chase's recently tripled minimum monthly payment, taking it from $480 to $1,175 a month. That's like going from a car payment to rent on a 1-bedroom apartment in Silicon Valley or a mortgage on a 3-bedroom house in 3/4 of the rest of the country. Chase does offer an option. It'll drop the monthly fee and let you keep the original monthly minimum payment. All you have to do is let them add 4 to 5% to your rate for the next 2 years. Of course, after that, they could raise the interest to 22.74% or more. But before you go getting the wrong impression, Chase is not the mafia. I'm pretty sure they won't break your legs if you don't pay up. Not both legs. If you'd like details, email. As they say, the devil's in the details. Well, in our case, it's the demon, Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan Chase. It seems nobody else in that vast organization has the authority to reinstate the terms we had agreed to. Quote, fixed 2.99 and 3.99% annual percentage rates for the life of the loan. The buck stops with Jamie. In fact, lots of our bucks and the bucks of some 400,000 other poor fish flopping around in the same boat stop with him. My understanding is somebody becomes a CEO for wealth and fame, and we'd already contributed to his wealth. Now it's time to contribute to his fame. I emailed the President, Congress, and every member of JP Morgan Chase's board of directors. So far, a Chase rep dropped around $1,000 in past fees as a gesture of goodwill. Yeah. And last week, New York State's Attorney General Andrew Cuomo got Chase to drop its $10 a month service fee. I can only hope my letters had something to do with that. But complaining to the company and government still doesn't get Dimon exposure. That's why I turned to a source that unfortunately turned out to be as useful as an invitation to the Pope's bar mitzvah, investing in shady Nigerian treasury bonds, or price-to-sell aged sushi. I'm talking about radio and TV on-your-side consumer advocates. Friends of the downtrodden and oppressed, champions who shine the light of justice and truth into the dark recesses where the wicked hide their iniquities, and by these actions get them to change their evil ways, baby. But are on-your-side consumer advocates on your side? You make the call. My wife Marie did, to Michael Finney on KGO Radio, an ABC affiliate with one of the strongest signals on the West Coast. After waiting on hold for 2 hours, Finney told her he was having a special show on credit card problems in a few weeks, would have a consumer attorney present, and invited her to participate. The big evening arrives. Finney is on the radio. The attorney is on the line. Marie is on her game. The attorney asks a question. Marie answers. Finney cuts her off, but the attorney goes on, opining that credit card companies can do whatever they please, and nothing can be done except the show, which is done. And we and Finney are fini. ABC was a bust, so what about CBS? Archived on the Channel 5 website was reporter Anna Werner's piece on Chase abuses, which noted that attorney James Sturdivant had initiated a class action suit. Michael Finney's legal guru had led us to believe that wasn't possible. I emailed Anna Werner, and a couple of weeks later, Maria and I were in a large room at CBS taking part in a discussion on credit cards. 4 people were already seated on chairs in the front row, so we'd be visible to the cameras. They had us sit on a table behind them. Now, this wasn't just a table. It was an unstable table. Lean too far back and we'd end up in the 3rd row. Only there wasn't a 3rd row. Without enough microphones to go around, Abby, the producer, became a sound person. I mean, she seemed like a sound person before, but now she was a sound person who had to hold up a boom mic, which was about as long as she was tall, and with which she almost creamed me a couple of times before she got the hang of hanging on to it. So this was what CBS had come to. The CBS News of Edward R. Murrow, Eric Sevareid, Walter Cronkite, Katie Couric. Anyway, Marie contributed valid insights and I had my say. But with 4 minutes to fill with 2 hours of interview, I wasn't sure if we'd make the cut. But when Anna replied to my thank you email, "You're welcome, and thanks very much to you and Marie for coming in to join us. In fact, you yourself get one of the first quotes in the piece." I couldn't wait to see what brilliant nuggets of insights were extracted from my torrent of scintillating commentary. At the appointed time, after ordering complete silence, there I was at the edge of my seat, glued to the TV, which was tuned to CBS, and there it was, my quote. Quote, "Incompetent." Close quote. Incompetent? After tons of emails back and forth with the producer, putting together background information, driving 100 miles, being perched for 2 hours on an unstable table, all I got was a lousy incompetent? Marie did 6 times better than I did. Quote, "It's so sneaky it should be illegal." It's so sneaky it should be. Hey, that's 7 words. She did 7 times better than I did. With friends like these on your side, consumer advocates, who needs enemies? Not me. But like Rick and Ilsa in Casablanca would always have Paris, I guess I'll always have Jamie. Till next time the rant is due, this is Don Laskin, and that was Observations.